After the Savior had finished the Last Supper with his disciples, which was probably around 10 p.m. on Thursday night, the Lord took his disciples down the Kidron Valley and then up the Mount of Olives. Only 5 days previous, on what we now call Palm Sunday, the Savior had come down this same mount to the shouts of praises by the Jews who hailed him as King of Kings, as the anointed Messiah. Yet now he went with no fanfare into a garden where he would take upon him the sins of the world. Gethsemane comes from the Hebrew words gath, meaning press, and shemen, meaning oil. The fact that Christ chose a garden called Gethsemane is significant for many reasons. Olive oil was considered one of the most important substances for life. This rich golden oil was used to light the home of every family in Judea. Oil was also used to light the inner chamber of the temple in Jerusalem. It was used to cook most food, and in particular was used in the process of making bread, the very staff of life. Olive oil was also used to help create many ointments that were used for both the living, for healing purposes, and for the dead, to anoint the body prior to placing it in the tomb. Oil was also used to anoint kings, priests, and prophets. In short, olive oil played a central part of Jewish religious and daily life. The very process by which olive oil was produced is also very significant and symbolic. To produce the oil, you had to first crush the olives with a huge stone wheel that turned the olives into a pulp-like mush. Large woven bags were then filled with the pulp and placed under the Gethsemane, or olive press. The mash sacks were placed towards the front of the beam under a round pressing board. Large stones were used to weigh down the beam, pressing upon the mash sacks. Additional weight was added until the olive oil began to spill from the woven bag into the collecting bowls. Because of the crushed rinds of the olives, the oil was actually brownish red in color, giving it the appearance of blood. The symbolism of olive oil and the suffering that Christ endured in the Garden of the Press is laden with significance. Christ in the Gospel of John states that he is the light of the world. It is through his precious blood that our way has been illuminated. Christ is the ointment that will not only heal our souls, but give a sweet fragrance to the bitter difficulties we face in life. It is through his precious blood that our wounds are healed. Christ also stated that he was the bread of life, a critical ingredient of ancient bread being olive oil. It is through his precious blood that we can have the bread of life and live forever. Even the very name Christ in Greek and Messiah in Hebrew mean anointed. Thus, Jesus was the anointed one in every aspect, the great King of Kings, the high priest, the holy prophet. Christ alone paid the price for our sins. He had the weight of the world pressed down upon him, crushing him until he bled from every pore. How grateful we should be to the Savior for what he did for us in a garden called Gethsemane, a garden that by its very name symbolizes the freedom, life, light, and healing power that has been brought into our lives through his precious blood.